Love should be a source of happiness, comfort, and security. But what if the person you're invested in has no real intention of committing? What if you're being strung along, kept around not because they truly see a future with you but because it's convenient for them? This painful reality is more common than most people think. Some individuals have no intention of settling down, yet they will keep you close enough to benefit from your time, energy, and emotional investment. They won't officially end things because they enjoy what they're getting from you: companionship, attention, or even material benefits. But deep down they have no plans to fully commit. The result? You're left in a cycle of confusion, frustration, and false hope. Being strung along is more than just frustrating, it's emotionally draining. It keeps you stuck in limbo, wondering where things are going while they continue to dodge serious conversations about the future. Every time you bring up commitment, they have an excuse. Every time you express your feelings, they deflect. It's a constant push and pull that leaves you questioning whether they truly care or if you're just an option in their life. It's important to understand the difference between someone who is taking things slow because they genuinely need time and someone who is intentionally misleading you. A person who is serious about you will communicate their intentions, show consistent effort, and work toward building a future together. On the other hand, someone who is stringing you along will keep making empty promises, keeping you close enough to stay but never truly making you feel secure. No one deserves to be treated like a backup plan. You deserve clarity, respect, and love that is reciprocated wholeheartedly. In this guide, we will reveal the alarming signs that indicate you're being strung along. By the end, you'll have the knowledge and confidence to protect your heart and make the right decision for your future. You find yourself constantly wondering what you are to them. One moment they act like a loving partner, texting you sweet messages, making plans, and showing interest in your life. But when the topic of commitment comes up, they become evasive. They tell you they don't like labels, or that they just want to go with the flow. At first, this seems understandable. Maybe they've been hurt before. Maybe they just need time. But as the weeks and months pass, nothing changes. You realize that every time you try to define the relationship, they shut down the conversation or give you vague answers. Why can't we just enjoy what we have? They say. Yet, you're the only one making sacrifices, the only one feeling uncertain, the only one waiting for something more. The harsh truth? When someone truly wants to be with you, they won't leave you in a state of confusion. They won't make you question where you stand. People who care about you don't keep you in limbo, they make it clear that they want you in their life fully and completely. So why do they keep you in this gray area? Because it benefits them. They get companionship without the responsibility of commitment. They keep their freedom while still having someone to rely on. But love should never feel like an endless waiting game. If they wanted to commit, they would. If they don't, they're stringing you along. One moment, they're showering you with affection, texting you constantly, making plans, calling you cute names, and making you feel like the most important person in their life. The next moment, they disappear, become distant, or act indifferent. Their affection comes in waves, intense at times, completely absent at others. And the worst part? You never know what to expect. When they pull away, you start overanalyzing everything. Did you do something wrong? Did they lose interest? Are they seeing someone else? Then, just as you begin to accept that they might be done with you, they suddenly return with sweet words and extra attention, making you feel special again. It's a cycle, one that keeps you emotionally hooked. This hot and cold behavior isn't love, it's manipulation. They give you just enough to keep you invested but never enough to make you feel secure. This emotional inconsistency keeps you in a constant state of hope and disappointment, making you crave the good moments while enduring the bad. A person who truly cares about you won't make you question their feelings. Love isn't meant to feel like an emotional roller coaster. If someone genuinely values you, they will be consistent in their affection, not someone who disappears and reappears when it's convenient for them. Whenever you try to talk about the future, they change the subject, make a joke, or give vague, non-committal answers. You bring up the idea of moving in together, planning a vacation months ahead, or even just defining the relationship, but they always seem uncomfortable. Instead of giving you a clear answer, they might say things like, "Why do we need to put labels on this?" Or, "Let's just enjoy the moment and see where things go." At first, you might convince yourself that they just need time. Maybe they're scared of commitment, or maybe they've been hurt before. But the truth is, if someone truly sees a future with you, they won't be afraid to talk about it. They won't dodge these conversations or make you feel guilty for wanting clarity. Being in a relationship where the future is a mystery can be exhausting. You start feeling like you're walking on eggshells, afraid to bring up anything that might push them away. But relationships should bring security, not uncertainty. A partner who values you will want to plan a future with you. If they consistently avoid serious discussions about where things are going, it's a major red flag. They might enjoy having you around, but they aren't willing to commit. And if they aren't willing to commit, you need to ask yourself, are you okay waiting indefinitely for someone who may never be ready? Have you ever noticed that they only reach out when it's convenient for them? Maybe they text when they're bored, call when they need emotional support, or make last-minute plans when they have nothing better to do. But when you need them, they're suddenly busy, unavailable, or full of excuses. This is a clear sign that they prioritize their own convenience over a real commitment to you. A person who truly cares about you will make an effort to be present in your life, not just when it suits them, but because they genuinely want to be with you. They'll set aside time, adjust their schedule, and make sure you feel valued. But when someone is only keeping you around for their own benefit, their actions tell a different story. You'll start noticing patterns. They'll cancel plans at the last minute, they'll disappear when you need support, and they'll only resurface when they want attention, intimacy, or validation. This kind of dynamic can leave you feeling like an option rather than a priority. You might find yourself constantly waiting for their attention, wondering when they'll reach out next. And when they finally do, you feel a temporary sense of happiness, until they disappear again. It's an emotional roller coaster designed to keep you hooked, but never truly secure. Love should never feel like a one-sided effort. A relationship isn't about convenience. It's about consistency, effort, and genuine care. If they only make time for you when it benefits them, you need to ask yourself, are you okay being someone's backup plan? Or do you deserve someone who chooses you, every single day? Have you ever noticed that just when you start pulling away, they suddenly reel you back in? Maybe you've decided to stop texting first or take some space, and out of nowhere they shower you with affection. They send sweet messages, make plans, or even say things that hint at a future together. But as soon as you feel reassured, they slip back into their old patterns, cold, distant, and emotionally unavailable. This is a classic tactic of keeping someone hooked without offering real commitment. They give you just enough attention to keep your hope alive, but never enough to make you feel truly secure. It's like dangling a piece of bait in front of you, making sure you never fully walk away. You start to believe that maybe they just need more time, that they do care, and that things will eventually change. The truth? This pattern isn't accidental. It's a strategy. They enjoy the control, the reassurance that you're still there waiting for them. They don't want to lose you, but they also don't want to fully commit. So, they breadcrumb you, offering little moments of affection and attention just when they sense you might be slipping away. This emotional push and pull is exhausting and damaging. It keeps you emotionally invested in someone who has no intention of truly choosing you. You end up questioning yourself, doubting your instincts, and hoping that the next time they show interest, it will finally mean something real. But deep down you know the truth. If someone truly cares, they won't keep you guessing. Real love is consistent, not conditional. If they only show up when they fear losing you, they were never really yours to begin with. One of the clearest signs that someone isn't serious about you is their refusal to introduce you to the people who matter most in their life. If you've been dating for months, or even years, and you still haven't met their close friends or family, that's a red flag. At first, they might have excuses. They could say they're private about relationships or that their family is too strict, or maybe they claim their friends just aren't a big part of their life. While these reasons may seem valid in the beginning, over time, it becomes obvious that they're deliberately keeping you separate from their inner circle. When you bring it up, they dodge the conversation or act like it's not a big deal. Maybe they introduce you in vague ways, never calling you their partner, avoiding any labels, or simply saying, "This is my friend." It feels like they don't want people to know you're together, or worse, like they're keeping their options open. Someone who truly sees a future with you won't hesitate to integrate you into their world. They'll want you to meet their family, spend time with their friends, and be involved in their social life. They'll be proud to show you off and make it clear to everyone that you're an important part of their life. The hard truth is that if they're keeping you a secret, it's not because they're just private. More often than not, they don't want the people in their life to see you as someone permanent. Maybe they're unsure about the relationship themselves, or maybe they don't want to be held accountable for treating you as something temporary. Either way, if someone truly values you, they will want to share their life with you. You won't have to fight for a place in their world, you'll be invited in naturally. If you're always on the outside looking in, it's time to ask yourself whether you're with someone who actually sees a future with you, or if they're just stringing you along until something better comes along. A relationship should feel like a two-way street, where both partners put in effort to nurture and grow the bond. But if you're always the one making plans, initiating conversations, and going out of your way to keep things alive, while they do the bare minimum, then you need to ask yourself, are they truly invested, or are they just keeping you around for convenience? When someone never goes out of their way for you, It often means that they don't see the relationship as something worth prioritizing. They might respond when you reach out, but they rarely, if ever, take the initiative. If you don't text, the conversation dies. If you don't plan a date, there isn't one. If you don't make an effort to see them, they don't seem bothered. It's a clear sign that they enjoy the attention and companionship but aren't willing to reciprocate the effort it takes to make a relationship work. True love and commitment require effort. It's about showing up, even when it's inconvenient. It's about making time, even when life is busy. If you're always the one adjusting your schedule, going the extra mile, or putting in emotional labor while they sit back and enjoy the benefits, then the relationship is entirely one-sided. Pay attention to how they act when you need something from them. Do they inconvenience themselves to make you happy? Are they willing to step up when you need support? Or do they always have excuses, saying they're too busy, too tired, or that they just didn't think about it? Actions speak louder than words, and if they never put in the effort to make you feel valued, then they don't value you the way they should. Someone who genuinely cares about you will want to do things for you, not out of obligation but because they genuinely enjoy making you happy. They won't hesitate to put in effort because your happiness matters to them. But if you constantly feel like you're the only one trying while they sit back and do the bare minimum, then you're not in a real relationship. You're just being strung along. Commitment means exclusivity, not just physically but emotionally as well. If the person you're with constantly flirts with others, keeps their dating app profiles active, or engages in suspicious behavior that suggests they're keeping their options open, it's a major red flag that they're not truly invested in the relationship. One of the most painful things in a relationship is feeling like you're giving someone your full attention and love while they're still entertaining the idea of being with someone else. Maybe they casually mention how attractive someone is, stay in touch with their exes, or get overly friendly with people they claim are just friends. You might even catch them being secretive with their phone, quickly closing apps when you walk into the room, or acting defensive when you ask about certain interactions. These are all signs that they're not fully committed to you. The reality is, when someone is truly in love and serious about the relationship, they don't seek validation from others. They don't need to keep swiping through dating apps just to see what's out there. They don't entertain messages from people who are clearly interested in them romantically. They don't make you feel like you're competing for their attention. Instead, they make it clear that you're the only one they want to be with. If they're still keeping their options open, it's because they're not sure about you, or worse, they don't respect the relationship enough to commit fully. They might enjoy the comfort of having you around while still leaving the door open for someone better to come along. And that's not love, that's selfishness. You deserve someone who is all in. Someone who doesn't make you question where you stand. Someone who proudly claims you as their partner and doesn't make you feel like a placeholder. If they're constantly leaving breadcrumbs of doubt by engaging with others in a way that makes you uncomfortable, trust your gut. Love shouldn't make you feel like an option, it should make you feel like the only choice. Intuition is a powerful thing. It's that quiet voice in the back of your mind that tells you something isn't right, even when everything seems fine on the surface. When you're being strung along, this feeling becomes impossible to ignore. You might not have solid proof that something is off, but deep down you feel uneasy, like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Maybe you catch subtle inconsistencies in their words and actions. They say they care about you but they don't act like it. They make promises but never follow through. They tell you what you want to hear but their behavior contradicts their words. Over time, this creates a nagging sense of doubt that you try to push away. But every time you bring up your concerns, they flip the script. Instead of addressing the issue, they make you feel like you're overthinking or being too sensitive. They say things like, "Why are you always looking for problems? You're imagining things. You need to trust me more." This is a classic gaslighting tactic, manipulating you into questioning your own reality. They make you doubt your instincts so you stay in the relationship even when it's not fulfilling. And because you want to believe them, you convince yourself that maybe you are overreacting. Maybe you're just being insecure. Maybe you just need to be more patient. But here's the truth. Real love doesn't leave you feeling uncertain. Someone who genuinely cares about you won't dismiss your concerns or make you feel crazy for having them. If your gut is telling you that something is off, it's for a reason. Ignoring these red flags now only leads to deeper heartbreak later. The more you suppress your intuition, the harder it will be to leave when the truth finally becomes undeniable. So instead of silencing that inner voice, listen to it. Ask yourself, do I feel secure and valued in this relationship? Do their words match their actions? Am I constantly questioning where I stand? If the answers don't bring you peace, then it's time to face the truth. You deserve better. The right person won't make you doubt their feelings. They won't make you feel like an afterthought. And most importantly, they won't make you ignore the most important voice in your life, your own. Being strung along is one of the most painful experiences in a relationship. It makes you question your worth, your desirability, and even your own judgment. But why do people do this? Why would someone keep you close without ever fully committing? The answer lies in human psychology, and unfortunately, it often has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with them. For some people, stringing others along is about maintaining a backup plan. They don't want to commit, but they also don't want to lose you. You become their emotional safety net, the person they turn to when they're lonely, bored, or in need of validation. They enjoy the comfort of knowing someone cares about them, even if they don't fully reciprocate those feelings. Others do it purely for attention and ego boosts. They thrive on the power of keeping you interested. Knowing that you're emotionally invested in them strokes their ego, making them feel desired and important. These are the people who disappear for weeks and then randomly text you just to see if you'll still respond. They crave the satisfaction of knowing they can pull you back in any time they want. Then there are those who fear being alone. They might not be deeply in love with you, but they don't want to be single either. Instead of being honest about their lack of true commitment, they string you along to fill the void in their lives. They don't want to let go of you unless they find someone better in their eyes. The harsh reality is this: if someone truly values you, they won't keep you guessing. Love isn't about uncertainty. It's about clarity, effort, and mutual investment. When someone genuinely cares, they will make it clear that they want you in their life, not as an option but as a priority. Understanding why people string others along can be painful, but it's also empowering. Because once you recognize these patterns for what they are, you gain the strength to walk away. You stop making excuses for their behavior. You stop waiting for them to change. And most importantly, you stop settling for someone who only keeps you around for convenience. You deserve real love, the kind that doesn't leave you questioning your worth. The kind that doesn't require endless patience for someone to figure out their feelings. And the moment you embrace this truth, you take the first step toward breaking free and finding the love that you truly deserve. Being strung along is one of the most frustrating and heartbreaking experiences in a relationship. It leaves you feeling confused, insecure, and emotionally drained. You invest your time, energy, and emotions into someone who keeps you on a string, giving you just enough attention to keep you hoping but never truly committing. If you've ever been in this position, you know how exhausting it can be. Now, let's take a moment to recap the 9 alarming signs that someone is stringing you along. They keep you in a gray area. They refuse to define the relationship, leaving you unsure of where you stand. They're hot and cold with their affection. One moment they're all over you and the next they're distant. They avoid serious conversations about the future. Whenever you try to talk about where things are heading, they change the subject or dismiss your concerns. They prioritize convenience over commitment. They only spend time with you when it suits them, not because they truly want to. They show just enough interest to keep you hooked. They never fully invest in the relationship, but they give you just enough attention to keep you hopeful. They keep you away from their inner circle. You've never met their close friends or family, which is a major red flag. They never go out of their way for you. You're the one always putting in effort while they make little to no sacrifices. They keep their options open. They flirt with others, keep dating profiles active, or refuse to fully commit to you. Your intuition tells you something feels off. Deep down, you know something isn't right, but you may ignore it out of hope or fear. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward freeing yourself from a one-sided relationship. But awareness alone isn't enough. You have to believe that you deserve better. You have to know that you are worthy of love that is clear, consistent, and committed. Why you deserve clarity, respect, and true commitment. Love should never leave you feeling uncertain. It should never make you question your worth or force you to chase after someone who doesn't fully appreciate you. A person who truly loves and values you will make their feelings clear. They won't play mind games, send mixed signals, or make you feel like an option. You deserve respect, the kind that acknowledges your emotions, your time, and your efforts. When someone respects you, they won't string you along for their own convenience. They will either commit or be honest about their intentions so you don't waste your time. You also deserve a true commitment. Love isn't just about emotions, it's about action. If someone says they care about you but their actions don't align, their words mean nothing. A committed partner will prioritize you, make future plans with you, and integrate you into their life. The importance of setting boundaries and recognizing your worth. If you find yourself being strung along, one of the most important things you can do is set firm boundaries. Boundaries protect your emotional well-being and prevent you from being used by people who don't truly appreciate you. Start by making it clear what you will and won't tolerate in a relationship. If someone refuses to define the relationship, refuses to commit, or keeps you in a cycle of uncertainty, be willing to walk away. You don't have to wait around for them to figure out their feelings. If they genuinely care, they'll make it known. If they don't, then leaving will save you from months, or even years, of heartache. Recognizing your worth is also key. When you know your value, you won't settle for someone who treats you as an afterthought. You'll understand that you deserve a love that is mutual, not one-sided. And most importantly, you'll learn to trust yourself, your feelings, your intuition, and your right to walk away when something doesn't feel right. How to walk away and rebuild your confidence. Leaving someone who has strung you along can be difficult. Even if you know they're not good for you, a part of you may still feel attached to them. But the longer you stay, the more emotional damage it causes. Walking away isn't a loss, it's a victory. It's a decision to prioritize your happiness and well-being. Here's how to move on and regain your confidence. Cut off contact. The best way to move forward is to stop engaging with them. No more late-night texts, no more checking their social media, no more waiting for them to change. Distance yourself completely. Surround yourself with supportive people. Spend time with friends and family who genuinely care about you. They'll remind you of your worth and help you heal. Focus on self-growth. Use this time to invest in yourself. Pursue your passions, develop new skills, and work on your personal growth. The stronger and more fulfilled you feel, the less you'll tolerate half-hearted relationships. Reflect on the experience, but don't dwell on it. Acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and then let it go. Holding on to resentment or regret will only weigh you down. Believe in love again. Just because one person treated you poorly doesn't mean everyone will. There are people out there who will love you fully, honestly, and wholeheartedly. Don't let a bad experience close your heart to the possibility of true love. Final words: don't waste time on someone who sees you as temporary. Time is the most precious thing you have, and wasting it on someone who doesn't truly value you is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. If someone sees you as temporary, don't make them a permanent part of your life. Real love isn't about guessing or chasing after someone's affection. It's about mutual effort, genuine care, and emotional security. If someone truly loves you, you'll know, not because you had to convince them, but because they made it clear through their actions. So don't settle for uncertainty. Don't lower your standards for someone who keeps you waiting. Walk away from anyone who treats you as an option and open your heart to the possibility of finding someone who will love you the way you deserve.